shut up about this fucking thing.
And I mean that. You can't go 5 seconds without stumbling across another Wii U retrospective / video essay / review. There's more of these things being pumped out by the second than newborn babies. This shit is an epidemic. It's never ending. You'd think it would have stopped once the Switch came out, once a year had gone by and everyone finally got the thing out of their system. But they're still coming out. We'll be living on Mars colonies, higher beings that interface through brain chips, and there will still be Wii U retrospectives being released. It's just a fact of life at this point. Every YouTube video essayist or reviewer who has even the tiniest bit of relation to Nintendo must at some point make a Wii U video. It's a rite of passage. But you see, I've already made my Wii U retrospective. I made it 4 years ago, the second scripted video essay-ish thing I ever made, and it's really shit.
Hey there, tuners and tunies, and today, a very special occasion, because we're talking about the Wii U.
Fetus reviews the Wii U, amazed it didn't get 1 million views, honestly. Between the audio editing, the camera framing, the reaction poses that haven't been cut out correctly, the arguments that boil down to, if you like Xbox, kill yourself, and the ear rape, it's fair to say, maybe not my finest hour. Which is infuriating for me. This is a console that I have so much to say about, and yet this is what I have to show for it. It's got the was, but shit, great. You could say, why don't you just make a new one, man? The old one isn't even public anymore. You can make a new one guilt-free. And to that I say, don't you get it? Making 2 Wii U videos is a sin. Everyone's allowed one, and only one, and the consequences for making more are grave and serious. I'll be flogged in the street, I'll be locked in the stocks and have tomatoes thrown at me. I'll have several people in the comments call me rude words. It'll be a disgrace, national news, Hugh Edwards will have a field day, the Daily Mail will dox me, my life will be over. Unless there was an upcoming milestone that would justify another go at the whole Wii U retrospective / review / video essay thing. Maybe a anniversary of some kind. Oh wait, the Wii U is going to be 10 years old this November. Jesus Christ, my mortality. That's the perfect time to make another Wii U retrospective / review / video essay thing. I can dodge all the complaints about being a sellout and cash in on a popular topic. It's genius, it's fucking genius. I've just got to make it first. So, it's not exactly a mystery why the Wii U wasn't successful. It's pretty well known at this point that basically everything to do with this system was botched in some way or another. The name, the marketing, the launch lineup, the specs, the price tag, the complete misunderstanding of either target audience, and this thing all came together to produce fuck all. It's very easy to point at the Wii U and just rail on it for 20 minutes. It practically writes itself. Look, the name sounds like a truck going past, sounds like an ambulance, sounds like a dude who just smelt a really pungent smell and wants everyone to know about it. But the Wii U is more than just a punchline, as hard as that is to believe. There are things about this system that are genuinely great, that are less apparent when your entire perception of it is a funny name. It's a system I love. It was the first game console I had that was truly mine. It's a machine that I've put hundreds of hours into. It's the thing that pretty much single-handedly got me as invested into games as I am today. So I don't think it's fair to just rail on it for 20 minutes and then cash in my paycheck. It would be very easy and profitable and fun. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say some nice things. Nice thing number 1. Holy shit, that game library. The Wii U launched with 23 games. These included The Worst Way to Play Call of Duty, The Worst Way to Play Mass Effect 3, The Worst Way to Play Assassin's Creed 3, The Worst Way to Play Arkham City, The Worst Way to Play FIFA 13, a new Super Mario Bros. Game, who gives a shit, Epic Mickey 2, an unbelievable amount of shovelware, and Funky Barn. Not exactly the best showing. To be fair, we did at the very least get Nintendo Land, which was a cute little stand-in for another Wii Sports. No one remembers or cares about this game because it's eternally trapped on the Wii U, doomed to be forgotten. But it's genuinely great, and deserves more than just me talking about it. Loads of fun asymmetrical multiplayer stuff, Nintendo-themed set dressing that has enough effort put into it to not feel cheap, a hub world. This is a minigame compilation with a hub world. They did not have to try this hard. It's genuinely such a shame that 1-2 Switch is what followed it, because this is so much cooler. Add it to the pile of cool shit that Nintendo tried once but didn't sell well enough to justify developing any further. Real quick, let's do a tier list. Battle Quest and Metroid Blast at S tier, Sweet Day Mario Chase and Crash Course at A tier, that shitty Captain Falcon one is F tier, all the other single player ones are C tier, and everything else is B tier. Feel free to debate me in the comments, I'm available for discussion at these hours. Then, nothing. For 8 months. The odd tumbleweed blew in, a Lego City on the cover here, a Game & Wario there, but nothing big to justify the purchase of a brand new video game console for £300 sterling. And oh, here come the sales figures, and oh dear, looks like people don't want to spend 300 quid on a system with no video games, who would have guessed? Asda stopped selling the thing, Morrison stopped selling the thing, chaos reigned, but suddenly, out of the fog, a genius steps forth with a suggestion. How about we make some video games? Bam! Pikmin 3, one of the best video games period, and if you haven't played it yet, you're a hobgoblin. Bam! Rayman Legends, one of the best 2D platformers ever. Every single level is a feast for the senses, the music, the art direction, the level themes. Here's a level where you shoot dragons with a slingshot. Here's a level where you guide a duck through cheese. Here's an underwater stealth level. Here's a level to the beat of classic pop song Eye of the Tiger. Bam, Wind Waker HD, one of the most visually stunning remasters of all time. Look at these graphics. Look how pretty this shit is. Game sucks though, not up for debate. Bam, Tropical Freeze. Fucking hell, this game is so good. The first few levels lull you into this false sense of security that you're in for a business as usual platformer. Then 2-3 Horn Top Hop makes an appearance and suddenly you realize you're playing a masterpiece. Bam, Super Mario 3D World. It's alright. Bam! Mario Kart 8, a game so good it single-handedly killed the Mario Kart series. The best courses, the best soundtrack, the best... maybe not the best roster. Why make another one? You can't top it. Bam! Smash Bros. I don't really play Smash Bros, but I have been reliably informed that people like this video game. Bam! Mario Maker, one of the most perfect ideas Nintendo has ever come up with. When little Willem was a wee lad, playing Mario Bros on his Nintendo DS while picking his nose and eating it, all he could think was... damn, I wish Nintendo produced a level creator for the 2D Mario series which would allow me to bring my own course ideas to life in a simple and accessible way. And look, they did the thing! I should get credit. Here's one of my courses, Goomba Industries. As you can see, I'm a professional level designer. Here's another one, think about life for a second, full stop, where you... oh, okay, this is fucked. Oh, is that meant to be heaven? Oh, okay, I was a sadistic little shit. Masterpiece video game. Quickfire round, bam Bayonetta 2, bam Hyrule Warriors, bam Captain Toad, bam Wonderful 101, bam Xenoblade X, bam Yoshi's Woolly World, bam Pokemon Fighting Game, bam Paper Mario Color Splash. It's not that bad, guys, come on. Bam, Splatoon! Now here's my fucking jam. Nintendo, after years of sitting on their ass, refusing to make anything close to a new big deal franchise, spies Call of Duty from across the pond and is like, fuck it, squid shoot and ink at each other, and you can swim in it. Take that, Master Chief. Splatoon isn't exactly the most polished multiplayer experience you can have, especially the first one, but it's again evident of just how good this company is at pumping out high quality stuff, that the squid-themed third-person shooter is still pretty good. All of the levels are set in these weird locations, skate parks, ports, summer camps, cosmetics are anime schoolgirl attire and plimsolls, you can run around with a big-ass paint roller. Everything about Splatoon is so weird and different. At a time when first-person shooters were still stuck in their grey period, Nintendo was out here literally designing a game around colour. Everything is drenched in this mid-2000s definition of cool, which... yeah, deserves air quotes, but the game knows it. It owns the fact that it's stupid, wears it like a badge of honor, says fuck you, we can have a cat judge the results if we want. Dueling can feel like a dice roll, some of the weapons don't feel tested, there's an overall lack of polish everywhere. Sheldon, but it's so unique and weird that I can't help but love it anyway. Fitting. So many video games, so many classics, so much good shit on this console. From 2013 to 15, Nintendo were on their A game. Compared to the Wii library before it, there's no fucking contest. The Wii had the big heavy hitters, sure, but the rest of its library was mostly a flat line. Nintendo didn't need to try as hard, so fuck it, why bother? The Wii U's library is the result of a company desperately trying to claw itself back to life, trying anything they could with as much effort as they could muster to finally convince some people that, hey, maybe Asda were wrong. Let's invest in the weird ideas, let's experiment, let's put our all into projects that deserve an audience. Let's make some good-ass video games. Did it work? What do you think? Nice thing number 2. The Gamepad was alright, I guess. In hindsight, maybe designing an entire system around a very expensive, bulky controller that doesn't really add much to most games was perhaps a bad idea. At the time it was cool. Whoa, did you see that golf ball demo? And that Ninja Stars demo? That shit crazy, bro. The official Nintendo magazine was borderline foaming at the mouth every time it was mentioned. Whoa, this is so innovative. Nintendo have done it again. Nice one, guys. Even I'm guilty of it. I vividly remember arguing with a friend at high school about whether the Wii U was better than the PS4. Yeah, and I said, quote, the Wii U is better because it is more innovative. No. Putting aside the point that it's innovative is a pretty shit argument, the Wii U also wasn't very innovative. Innovation implies that you've pushed the industry forward significantly and allowed for a wealth of experiences that would have been worse or flat out impossible before. 3D, dual analog, rumble, motion, you can trace lines between these features and the places they end up. It's not just introduction and immediate death. The best thing the Gamepad could do was let you turn off the TV if the boys wanted to watch baseball or something while you sat in the corner playing Mario like a disgusting cretin. And in a sense, that is innovation. That feature specifically led to this and that and the Logitech G Cloud. But that's not the thing that this magazine, or Nintendo, was so hyped about. It was the interactivity between the TV and this second screen. Just think about all the possibilities. 2 possibilities. Innovation! This controller was pretty much useless throughout its entire life. However, I also kind of love it. That's mostly nostalgia talking, clearly. I'm making a Wii U video, but it's also down to just how committed devs were to finding a use for a thing that never really had a use to begin with. Most of these innovative features were just pointless fluff that was removed so easily in ports to the Switch that it's fucking laughable. But there was occasionally a game that came along that actually used the thing in a way that wasn't completely useless. Just mostly useless. LEGO City Undercover used it for a bunch of pointless stuff. Maps, menus, scanning things in the environment, Skype calls. All of this could have just been on the main screen, and eventually was, but doing that robs it of all its charm. There's a little bit of childlike wonder in having the game character hold the thing I'm holding, and interacting with it like I'm the dude on the screen. Pikmin 3 did a similar thing. Breath of the Wild almost did a similar thing. Before, it's just cool, right? Let me have my Skype call with my LEGO wife and leave me be.
That doesn't sound very by the book.
Rayman Legends, despite releasing on pretty much every console under the sun by this point, was originally developed as a Wii U exclusive before Ubisoft got cold feet, so it's got a bunch of levels in it that were handcrafted around the touchscreen. These aren't gimmicky either, they're really creative and play like auto runners where you have to prevent your poor baby from running headfirst into a punji pit. In all of the ports, these are just done with a simple button press instead, which is so boring. Mario Maker pretty much single-handedly justified the Gamepad's existence right then and there. It just works so fucking well that trying to play it without it feels like having a limb removed. Zombie U, contender for the worst name for a video game ever, is a survival horror game that almost did something really cool. I never played this when it came out because I was a baby and the box art scared me, but I picked it up recently because I heard it was meant to be pretty good. It's not. It's janky as fuck, and not in the charming Resident Evil way, more in the why is the flashlight on a timer and is also controlled by a touchscreen button that is on the opposite side to where my hand is sort of way. But it's also kind of interesting. There's bits and pieces here that are really cool, that would have been neat to see in a video game made by a studio that specializes in survival horror, and not the Raving Rabbids people. Having to split your focus between 2 separate screens in a survival horror game where you're already on edge is a fucking brilliant idea. Organising your inventory on the gamepad while having to keep an eye out at all times to make sure you're not about to be munched is genuinely tense. It's a compelling mechanic that doesn't work nearly as well on other platforms. It's just a shame that Ubisoft were seemingly more interested in making QuickTime events and clunky menus than anything approaching fun.
Oh, that looked good. That looked really good.
There are a bunch of multiplayer games that use the gamepad in a lot of creative ways. NintenDann did a bunch of asymmetrical stuff, Game & Wario did a little bit more, Wii Party U went fucking apeshit and threw everything possible at the wall. Pictionary, 1 vs 3 minigames, tabletop football, a game about moving water from the gamepad to the TV. For some fucking reason.
Oh my god.
The obligatory 2D Mario had a mode where you could place blocks to help out the other players. Or bully them. 3D World let the gamepad player interact with the environment. Pet a Goomba, implode a Goomba, draw phallic imagery in the snow. Tank Tank Tank, a video game that I think I, and only I, played or knew existed, had a mode where the gamepad player could become Godzilla and butt stomp everyone else into submission. This is the only good thing about this game. Splatoon used it for a map and menus and stuff, who cares, but it also used it for a mini-game while you were waiting in a lobby. If you haven't played it, you're probably going, well, that makes the gamepad essential then, in a really sarcastic voice, and I'd like to say fuck you, because it does. As I've said, almost all of this is pointless and easily replaceable and one of the least thought through ideas for a console gimmick on the planet, but there's a certain charm to this sort of thing that's lost in the conversion. It feels more handcrafted and personal, like they didn't have to do any of this, but they went ahead and did it anyway. It's the extra little bit of flavour that gives the games on this console more spice. It makes you feel like the game is more than just a thing that exists on the screen. I wouldn't call it immersive, but it's cute. Is it worth the millions they probably spent on R&D for the thing? Or the extra £100 on the price tag? Fuck no, but it is worth something. £2 maybe? Nice thing number 3. Why is everything so fucking charming? Here's the home screen for the Switch. It's fine. It's clean, it's simple, it gets the job done without hogging up system resources, and there's a couple little splashes of charm here and there. But it's also so hollow and lifeless, and fucking hell, where is the eShop music? I know you're hiding it somewhere, Nintendo, where did you put it? The Wii U is the polar opposite. This is clunky as shit. The top screen is solely dedicated to a Miiverse hub, which doesn't even work anymore. If you want to use a Wiimote, you have to do this awkward swap thing, but then the gamepad doesn't work, so then you have to swap it back again. If you want to make a folder of icons, you can't just drag and drop. That's too intuitive. You have to find an empty icon, click create, then drag it in, and then it doesn't even show you what's in there. If you want to play a Wii game, you don't just pop it in and hit play. No, you have to boot into Wii mode, which is an entire Wii inside your Wii U, it's just sitting in there, and then start the game in there. The eShop simultaneously shows you way too much and way too little. All of the tabs are broken and don't show you what you want. I feel like I'm scrolling through an ancient version of Amazon. Going between any app has a massive loading screen. The settings menu has a loading screen. The friends list has a loading screen. Some games take centuries to boot up. Going back to the home screen takes forever. This is the improved version, by the way. It's a complete fucking mess. But screw it, I love it anyway. Noticing a pattern yet? The Wii U's interface is the definition of form over function. Nothing really works the way you want it to, but god if it isn't going to charm you into liking it anyway. Like, take the home screen. It's not nearly as memorable as the Wii's or as easy to navigate as the Switch's, but it's still very pretty. All of the icons have this glossy border that makes them pop, there's so much colour, the background is this sleek spinning assortment of different Wii U things, gamepad, Wii remote, I think that's right shoulder button. So iconic. The menu music, again, nowhere near as good as the Wii's, but it's still so much better than just... Wara Wara Plaza, yeah that's its name, has been completely useless ever since Miiverse got shanked in the street and left for dead, but it's still really charming. You turn on the console and the Horde runs in just to let you know about all the things you can do in the settings app. Speaking of Miiverse, remember Miiverse? No? Well, me neither, I never used it. But god, do I wish I did! Maybe not at the age I was at the time. Only Nintendo would make an entire social network exclusive to their family-friendly console. integrate messaging features into their family-friendly video games, allow people to draw pictures and send them as messages, and not think about how that could backfire horribly. I don't really know how this thing was meant to be used. I guess in the same way people live tweet about games today, but no one used it for that, let's be real. This was the place for genuinely cool art, shitposting, and I respect the balls on the men who thought this was a good idea. I also have a lot of respect for this dude. Still better than Twitter. The eShop has music, lots of it, a rotating selection of it. At Christmas it's all different. There's a playlist on YouTube with it all in, and there's 26 different songs, and every single one of them slaps. The Mii Maker, compared to the Wii's one, is very underwhelming. All of the Miis are lined up in this boring shelving unit, all of the Mii Maker stuff is on the Gamepad. I feel like I'm surveying my vast collection of anime babes, not making a funny guy I can play tennis with. However, and this is a very big deal, there is a photo mode, and it's very funny, so it gets a pass. The web browser has a mode where you can pull back the curtain to reveal some pornographic images. There's a stats app which has detailed graphs to let you know how much of a piece of shit you are. The manuals. Oh, I've got to talk about the manuals. This was right around the time when physical game manuals were being phased out in favor of built-in tutorials, control guides, software license agreements for your copy of LEGO Marvel Superheroes. While that's pretty cool for all the trees out there, what about my pointless pieces of paper? I genuinely loved flicking through the manual for a new game on the drive home from a game shop and seeing all the cool art and ways that people had managed to make instructions look neat. Sometimes you'd get a boring one in black and white with barely any pictures, but if you were lucky, you'd get a full colour one with loads of art and a design that fit the game perfectly. It was an art form in and of itself, one that pretty much died when the 8th generation rolled around. Why would I bother flicking through a little book when I can look up all the answers to any query I could ever want on a little computer in my pocket? But Nintendo weren't willing to let it die just yet. No. Introducing the electronic manual. It's like a regular manual, but you read it on the console with the crappiest e-reader ever made. Who are these for? Despite the fact that I don't think a single soul has ever read one of these for anything more than just curiosity, it's ridiculous how much effort has been put into these things. Custom art, unique borders and colour schemes for different games, interactive maps, tons of screenshots. They didn't have to do any of this. They could have just done a control guide. They could have just done nothing. Who would have cared? But they did it anyway. They carried on the legacy. These have just as much love and care poured into them as any physical manual. Sometimes even more. Look at the Mario Maker manual. This thing is insane. Tutorial videos, a custom layout that it and only it used, interactive everything, animated bits, credits, unlockable videos found by looking through the art book that came with the game. Why did they put this much effort into the electronic fucking manual? It's not just software stuff though. Even the things outside of the system itself are so pointless or moronic or overly designed to the extent that you just end up loving them anyway. Like the game boxes. Why are they so blue? Why is there a yellow border under the header? Why is the Mario Maker box bright yellow and yet still has the yellow border? These are the things that keep me awake at night, and also love. I would frame this box design template. Amiibo! Fucking useless piles of plastic, I could have bought food. But also, these are adorable and I want them. It's not like Amiibo are exclusive to the Wii U or anything. Nintendo still pumps them out from time to time when they want a new Mazda, but it's because of the Wii U that these things exist. So it counts, alright? I'm not one of the people who bought every single Smash Bros. One and then dedicated an entire room of my house to storing them. I'm sure if I had infinite money when I was 12, I would have. I've just got a couple of the ones I really like and could convince my mother to buy for me. This squid one looks neat, this toad is really funny to me for some reason, the Mario Maker and Willy World ones are so creative. Still miffed I never got the giant one. Look, these two amiibos even come with a free pack of amiibo cards, what a deal! The Wii U was so pointlessly clunky and jank in so many ways. But that was kind of the charm of it, you know? It's why people like the early 2000s, or CRT TVs. Yeah, this is kinda shit, but I like it because it's kinda shit. You don't always love a thing solely because of how unabashedly perfect it is. You love a thing because its faults endear you to it. There's a personality that's unique to the Wii U that no console before it or since has managed to capture. I look at the Switch menu and I just feel sad, like, yeah, this is better, it serves its purpose far more effectively than something that is more interested in loading in 100 Miis than saving you time. But I also feel like I'm checking in for a doctor's appointment. Does it have to be this sterile and devoid of life, really? This feels like a personal experience, something that a team of people poured their hearts and souls into. That's not to say that other consoles don't have engineers, designers, UX experts, or artists that were passionate about what they were making, because fucking hell, they clearly do. You don't get something this streamlined without passionate people making it happen. But the Wii U just has such a knack for pushing every personal creative decision to the forefront. It revels in the shit that makes it so unique, and I don't just mean this, I mean the community, the creativity, the we're doing it our way and you can't stop us mentality. It's unique for more reasons than just a tablet or laughably low sales figures. It's a machine that radiates fun. And I think that's why people won't stop talking about it. It's been 10 years since this thing came out. We've had 8 new consoles since then, 9 if you count the U year, 10 if you count Stadia, 11 if you count Luna. The UK has had 5 prime ministers, phones went from looking like this to this. Marvel went from one Avengers movie to people getting excited for Thunderbolts. Twitter went from a cute little social media site to hell frozen over. I went from a cute little baby to a Chris Pratt lookalike. And people are still talking about the fucking tablet console like Jesus Christ, they must have done something right. The Wii U is far from perfect, but writing it off as nothing more than a mistake or a punchline is doing it such a disservice. I love this console. Clearly, a lot of other people love this console. Clearly, Nintendo loved this console based on how much shit they've been pilfering from its corpse. The library, the charm, the creativity it inspired. Did it deserve to die? Yeah, but maybe not as soon as it did. Right, so I know what I said last time about how I'm never going to do one of these videos ever again, but I've done some thinking and reflecting, and I've realised that I actually have a little bit more to say on the topic, so I'm just gonna, go ahead and do another one of these videos, just one more. Let me just grab my notes real quick. Right, so first off,